that they're not just Googling everything, that they're not only just going on Google and trying to find out all of this information and then coming back, but it's not really the best information. That's where we really come in with buyers like that and educating them, setting expectations.
Welcome to Let's Talk Real with Mel. We are here with the Aaron Bates real estate team, serving Long Island, Brooklyn, Queens, in New York. And we're in downtown Philadelphia right now at the Bellevue Hotel. Nice hotel, right? Welcome. Yeah, no, thanks for hanging out. What tell us a little bit about your team, what the kind of what the makeup is. Is it just you guys? Is it do you have other team members? What does it look like?
Yeah, we run a little SEAL team, so it's a couple buyers agents, an assistant, and then we still do production and stuff.
Okay, so you guys stay pretty busy.
Yeah.
All right.
We also own and operate a brokerage too, so we have another about 45 agents as well on top of that.
Okay, wow. So so you got kind of two different, totally separate but connected kind of businesses going.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
A bunch of SEAL teams within our office, and then individuals. Agents as well.
Okay. And what is it like? How many clients do you serve? What does that kind of look like on an annual basis? And how long have you been in this real estate stuff?
So I've been a part of the team since 2017, so 6 years. Aaron's been in the business for 12 years. We partnered up, and we've been partners for 6 years, and we just started growing our team this year. We serve about 100 clients a year.
Okay.
And so we've got, probably over 500 or 600 families that we've helped at this point.
Pretty cool.
And, we're just looking to serve a few more people every year.
All right. And grow a little bit at a time, right? So what got you into real estate in the first place? I mean, did you, like as a little kid, like playing in the dirt, to just say, I want to be a realtor? Like that?
No, I did every job imaginable leading up to it. It was really a phone call that I received. Rebecca's probably heard this a million times, but a friend of mine called me up, said, "What are you doing with your life?" I was kind of offended when he first said that, but I realized that he was saying it for a reason. And he said, "You should go get your real estate license. You're always a hustler. I think you'd be good at it." So fast forward, did the real estate exam, the classes, everything, ended up in the REO business. So I started in distressed sales, that's bank-owned properties, short sales, so working with a lot of investors and homes that were very in bad shape.
Not the most desirable condition.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. And then so you started in the REO space, and then you started straight in real estate when you got or were you doing real estate affiliated businesses before?
No. So I was a teacher.
Okay.
So I am a previous teacher. I'm taught in St. Louis, Missouri. I moved to Long Island. I stayed at home with my kids for a little while. And then it was time when I started to go back to work into teaching. I had this overwhelming feeling that I did not want to be held to anybody else's expectations of me. I didn't want to go to work and, 9 to 5 or 9 to 3 as a teacher or whatever. I didn't want to be required by anybody to do anything. I know that sounds kind of terrible.
Right. And I'm sure it's easier now, right? When you're with it, right?
You have more people.
Right, they have more requirements, right?
Right, but most importantly, I have 2 kids. One of my kids has a lot of needs, and she needs me for different things at different times, and it's very unexpected. So because of that, I didn't want to be held down to something where I had to have a boss and be like, "Sorry, I have to take my kid to the doctor today." And real estate gave me that freedom where I was able to start making money, be in complete control of my time, and I never had to worry about meeting my children's needs, what my children needed from me, while doing my job at the same time. I was always able to figure that out. And that was one of the most important things that a job in real estate actually gave to me. Now, I also had that very unexpected thing where you work in real estate, you make your own hours. It's just all of the hours, right?
You get to make them as just from like midnight to 11:59. Right.
There's that also. But it's, when you work in real estate, you own your own business. You can do whatever you want and make your business however you want. I think that's one of the most important things that I've learned about this career.
Okay, school teacher. So I've learned through your school teachers make excellent realtors.
I've heard that.
Because of the patience, and you want to make sure they understand and stuff like that. So you came from REO, working with investors, working with distressed properties, and then you guys kind of came together, started the team.
Kind of transition to more traditional real estate. So working with, homeowners, regular homeowners selling their home that they've been in for 30, 40 years, and the first-time home buyers, second-time home buyers, but still having the background of the distressed and investor and that kind of the real estate.
Now, how did being in that business, in the REO business, kind of, because it's really a different business then, right? But what skills did you kind of extract from working with investors and doing that translate over to working with on the retail side? With a Susie seller, Harry homeowner that wants to buy or sell and live in it.
Right. Understanding the investment itself, understanding that any property could turn into something much more than what they see at the first time, understanding the loan programs that they may need in order to get that foreclosed home and actually close on it, because a lot of people don't realize that there is a specific type of loan that you need in order to purchase it, assuming that they are using a mortgage and not been cost. Also understanding the cost of everything. Obviously costs are inflated now too, but like understanding that is able, both of us, because I taught Rebecca a lot of it too, is to get a client from here to there, seeing the vision of a potential home that could be much better than what's right.
Yeah. So, and I think that's probably important because a lot of times, particularly for first-time home buyers, second-time and move-up buyers, they already know their house they're selling today is worth a lot more than it was until they paid 5 or 10 or 15 years ago. But for the first-time home buyer, this is just so much money that they're putting down, and they are putting all of their faith and trust in you guys to make sure, and everyone's saying, well, what if I buy the house for $10 and then 5 years from now it's only worth $7? And you're there to say, no, I mean, based on trends and based on the last 50 years, prices always go up. So I think that's important to pull in on that knowledge that you have. And then I guess you could spin it in a way to Rebecca, then you can use your education background to help the client understand.
Yeah, I think having a bit of an overlap between distressed property and a traditional property really helps us set buyer expectations. We have historically worked with a lot of first-time home buyers. For the first few years we were together, our business was probably 80% first-time home buyers. Now it's evolved a lot. However, a first-time buyer needs to learn a lot, and you have to set a lot of expectations. So being able to explain to them why they maybe can't buy this property, or explain to them their options for buying a property, or being able to show them how something can become something else, I think it really helps to make the process better for them. Today's buyer, they rely on us for a lot of information, but like our millennials, our Gen Zs, they are going out and looking for information on their own. So we need to be a trusted source for them. And by
Right. It's like, oh, well, no, we're good. You need to be a trusted source.
It needs to be a really trusted source for them. It's really, really important that they're not just Googling everything, that they're not only just going on Google and trying to find out all of this information and then coming back, but it's not really the best information. That's where we really come in with buyers like that and educating them, setting expectations.
Okay. So and I guess in the beginning, working with 80% first-time home buyers, how has that changed over the past 6-ish years? I guess now is it more balanced because now your first-time home buyers from 6 years ago are now selling and kind of moving up.
They're moving up.
Right. We work with a lot more sellers now than buyers. It's evolved a lot.
In terms of the first-time seller,
Yeah.
and that's not even just on the first-time home buyer. It's like the person that's been sitting in their home for 30 to 50 years. They never sold a home before. So they don't understand the process. I wait at closing all their day. I think it was in their family for 65 years.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really cool. But yeah, so those first-time home buyers, a lot of them have turned into first-time sellers already, or they're probably going to be soon. So what's really fun is that we did get to kind of walk them through buying their first house, and then we get to walk them through selling that first house and buying that second house, which is usually the dream house.
Right.
First time one isn't usually the second or third.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so now imagine from a business perspective, I mean, you guys are serving 100 clients. You guys have served 500, 600 clients so far. I would guess that it has always been easy and perfect, right? Yeah, right? No?
Always.
Right. Right.
We show them one house.
They buy, right. And just business. I mean, I'm sure the business just comes to you and the bill, the money is overflowing like you just don't know what to do with it.
If only the viewers could hear our conversation that we all had at that dinner table.
Right.
Type thing.
Yeah.
But it was fun. No, it's not all rainbows and butterflies for sure. It's I just said we had a closing the other day, and that actually started back in July of last summer. We sold the house 5 times. We hit a rough patch, and it's not even about us. It's about that the homeowners, what they dealt with. Like in that time period, the interest rates spiked. That offset the mortgage for the current buyer that we had under contract. They had to take out a loan. Then they had to take out a second loan. They were building a house in another state that they were moving to retire. And then it was just one thing after the other. The wife, she fell down the stairs and had to get surgery on her leg. A month before, 30 days before today, she dropped a chair on her foot and broke her foot. Like, it was just like not everything on top of all the real estate hurdles that we had. And like I said, we sold the house 5 times. So like, we're hoping that not only did we learn a lot from the experience, but we could bring that to our future clients saying, well, so-and-so did this. So this is what happened during this transaction. We don't want you to be that.
Right.
We don't want that year.
So you can show them some of the pitfalls. These are some of the things that my clients experience, and then these are the things that we learn from it, and this is how we can kind of navigate around some of those landmines, hopefully.
Yeah. I think the more problems you encounter, the more you learn how to prevent the problems later. When we sit down with a client and we're talking about everything to do with selling their home, the red flags go off in your head. Like, this could be a problem. We have to make sure we prevent it. This could be a problem. We have to make sure that we're on top of that. What can we do now to make sure that everything does go smoother? Because once you get under contract, you want to just go from contract to close. You don't want to encounter more problems. So everything we can prevent before the house goes on the market or before we have a contract makes it easier for the.
Right. Pretty cool. Yeah. So you're I like you guys have an awesome balance. Yeah. I love it. I feel the energy. It's a very calming, and I'm sure your clients feel it too. When you guys can say, yes, no, the roof is falling into the kitchen, but it's going to be fine.
It's
right.
It's going to be gorgeous.
Right. When we finish, what's the insurance coming with it? Right. So what do you outside of real estate? I mean, I know you're full time, you're working, and then your part time job is probably working some more. What do you like to do? What do you like to do when you're not doing the full time or the part time?
Well, I am an unpaid Uber driver for my children.
Okay.
We're in that stage of life where if I'm not working, I am driving my kids around to live their best life.
Sports activities, anything.
So yeah, soccer mom, softball mom, basketball mom, theater mom.
Okay.
Those are my hobbies.
All right. Right. Your hobbies are their hobbies. Right. Yeah. Their hobbies are my hobbies, Frank. Well,
As far as I go, I would say I still fit in time to coach lacrosse. I played lacrosse in high school and college. Won a national championship actually here in Philly at Lincoln Financial.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We're coming up on their 20-year anniversary.
Oh, wow. Where's the club?
MIT in Old Westbury, New York.
Okay. Good stuff.
Little D2 school, tech school.
Okay.
So it was a good experience, and I knew that I wouldn't continue to really play unless it was like pickup or something or a league or whatever. So my way of staying involved with the sport is teaching and coaching. And I've been coaching for the last 12 years or 14 years with the youth program, travel program. So it's year round, but for the most part, it's really starting in the spring and ending in the middle of the summer. So
Pretty good credentials. I'd love my coach to be a national champion.
yeah,
Might know a thing or two.
Yeah.
But
a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, right now as fifth graders, so it's a little bit different. I've always been at the varsity level. I've been relearning how to coach at that level.
Okay.
And that's been a learning curve for me in the last 3 years. So
Oh, teaching the younger folks.
yeah, we're the varsity boys. It's boys lacrosse, so they pretty much know they have their stick skills. They, it's just fine tuning them and getting them to play together as a team. Whereas the boys at the fifth grade level, which I started with at second grade, it's like stick skills and learning like lacrosse IQ, where you need to be on the field, learning just about everything. It's a lot more patience, which kind of relates into real estate. Like I think the two of them do intertwine. I'm talking about a sport and we're talking about real estate.
Yeah. People don't, I know it's connected and it's connected, but I mean, for the viewer out there, just the coaching journey makes you a better leader, and it, I would say that, and the teacher learns more than the student. So you're, as you're coaching I'm sure that like every day when you're coaching, you're like, okay, yeah, and they get it, that point, whatever it was, and they get it, you're able to probably translate however you were able to get that point across to help them get it and relate it directly to maybe a real estate client that is having trouble understanding a certain concept, or you're needing them to kind of get on board with a certain approach.
Or even one of our team members, we now that we have a team, it's a lot of coaching, and guiding them in the right direction. And so we've made a lot of mistakes that we've learned from, which is great, because I'd like to think that when I started out in real estate, I had the benefit of Aaron helping me. So I would listen to his phone calls. I was like shadowing him all of the time and just picking up on everything. And so now as we are coaching team members, we want to kind of offer them the same thing. So the same opportunities to hear conversations, to learn from what we've already learned, to skip a few steps ahead faster because of our experience, so that they don't have to go through everything that you had to go through.
Yeah, springboard upgrade. You make it so they don't make the mistakes that we've already made, or we've already handled that situation before. Oh, this is great. This is how we're going to handle it here. Yeah. But it's what we needed to do back then. So
yeah, it's a lot easier when you're teaching someone to say, oh, I've had that before, this is what we're going to do, than it is to jump into the emotional boat with them and ride out all the waves and get all upset and crazy, which real estate can do to all of us. It's done it to us many, many times. But I think that we really learned how to coast through and how to navigate problems really well, which is helping us become better leaders.
Yeah, cool. And so that, and it does that coaching component does help you, as Tom would say, be the rock. Like the clients, your team members, though they may try to pull you into that roller coaster, it's better, you don't want I would say the stewardess or the steward on the plane likes to run into the aisle like screaming. Right. That would freak me out. Like even if it's really bad, I look at them, and if they're nice and calm, then I'm like, I guess it can't be too bad, than turbulence. And so speaking of turbulence, what sharing time, if you would, either, professionally or personally, where there was some, a significant amount of turbulence, and how did you guys get through that?
I have one. So when I always call it my real year in real estate, no pun intended, but Sandy hit Long Island. Well, it hit other places too, but it really affected everybody locally. Like, I mean, people were literally underwater. Their houses were underwater. And so real estate pretty much shut down, and so did everything shut down. Everyone was really trying to figure out, what the hell am I doing here, right? And at that time, I'm like, I just started to really get going in real estate. And I'm actually starting to sell homes. At the time, I was still bartending. That's the background I came from. I was bartending for so many years, and I couldn't bartend either. So I was making absolutely no money. I had to think outside the box and figure out, what the hell am I doing? Like, no one's selling a house, no one's buying a house. So I think this had a lot to do with being in the REO business. I had an investor base that I could rely on there, because most investors, if they're not scared, would buy still.
Yeah, they're looking at opportunities. Yeah.
As an opportunity. So I started door knocking and just going to areas where they were as distressed as possible, all underwater, or were at one point, and some people just wanted to get out. So I was out there helping people. So I just started wholesaling houses. I bought a house in the morning, I sold it in the afternoon. I would just align everybody together, and I'm doing that like 5 or 7 times in a matter of like 60 days. And that was able to transition me through that period.
Right.
And then, as most New Yorkers are, they get over it quick. They're like, all right, shit happened. Now let's fucking get it done.
Right.
Let's fix it and stuff. And that's what happened. I know it was a time period where everybody had to rebuild and stuff, but through the rebuilding era, through that time period where everybody's still trying to figure it out, that's how I figured it out for myself and for those people, my family, everything.
And also providing, I mean, the wholesalers, I'll tell you, and my clients too, wholesalers and investors play a very valuable role in the real estate ecosystem, because you, by being in a position to make an offer to someone who just wanted to sell, and they didn't want to list on the market, they wanted to, like, I just need this over with so I can move on. You were able to step in and yes, you were able to benefit as well, but you were able to serve that family.
Yeah.
Which comes back to the service side of
Right.
what you kind of, and so would you say, I mean, you touched on it, the bartending piece, how did that background help you? I would guess that it did help you just in running the office as a whole.
So with real estate is a lot of personalities. With bartending or any service industry business, or any service job or business, there's a lot of people. So there's a lot of personalities. There's a lot that goes along with that. So not only when I ran the bar and I was behind the bar, I treated it as a business, because if the bar wasn't making money, I wasn't making money. So I had to, if I'm going to be there from 7 to 4 o'clock in the morning, I have to make sure that everybody knows my name and that they're coming back next time I'm there. So I was meeting people all the time. And I always said I wasn't a bartender. I was a professional friend maker. I was a sociologist, a psychologist, a bouncer at times, unfortunately. I can you're slinging drinks. So, but in my 20s, I wasn't thinking that $5 beer was going to turn into a $500,000 home. I wasn't thinking that. Even when I did get in this, real estate and bartending overlapped about 4 years, I think, 4 or 5 years maybe. I always said that I want to stop bartending until either I got tired, it was too much for me, or I wasn't making the money. I did both at the same time. I got rid of it, and at that point, my real estate career so I did them side by side, and they didn't. I still did real estate full time, and I just bartended 2 to 3 times a week, and they did all these side hustles. So by that, I gained all these friends through the bar, and that know, like, and trust me. It turned into about 75% of our business for a long time.
Wow.
Okay. But the difference was, when I was behind the bar, people didn't take me serious. Like I said, there was an overlap. They didn't take me serious as Aaron, the real estate agent. It was Aaron, the bartender.
Mm-hmm.
Once I think that I stopped bartending, that's when those people that were coming in the bar really started to buy, if they didn't already. And that's when I think they started to take me serious, because I started to take myself serious. And because in the beginning, I was more of a secret agent, and that was my fault. People kind of knew, but people didn't really know.
Yeah, you weren't screaming it from the rooftops.
Yeah.
I think a lot of agents, especially agents that have done different things, we talk about friends and family aren't always, though they want the best for us, but they aren't always, they're vocal, they're opinionated.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when you're hearing that in your head, oh, you were selling insurance, then you were selling water, now what's next? What are you doing now? Selling, oh, you're a realtor now, and we can sometimes let that negative energy silence us at times, and then we don't want to scream from the rooftops. So it's good that you were able to let the bartending go, and that's when it sounds like that's when you really got to see some tremendous growth.
Yeah, you just let that spring loaded. We then
the year you stopped bartending was the year we partnered up, and the business became a business. It was not just selling real estate. It was, this is our business. We're building it. We're growing it. We're thinking about it in multiple ways. We're systematizing it. And at that point, I think that's when you went from, like, you tripled the business from the year that
it was kind of like
together to the year that
it was kind of like doing it. Not that I was doing it as a hobby, but I was treating it like a hobby. And I think that's the problem with a lot of real estate agents is they don't have a coach that gets them to that point, or they have no idea what they're actually getting themselves into. Like, you have to, real estate is, one, the sky's the limit. Two, you have to treat it as a career in your business, not as a job. It's no longer a job anymore, unless you can treat it like that.
Or a hustle, right?
Right. It's not a side muscle.
Networking events. It's not lunches and coffees and high heels and fancy cars. It's really not. It's not that glamorous. The reality of it is that it's late nights, it's early mornings, it's practicing, learning, getting better every single day. And I think that the commitment to be better is what helped us grow. And just having plans, writing a business plan every year.
I said this to a new guy I met down at the conference, Sterling, and he just got into coaching. I said, I think that's a great thing for you. I said, just interview a couple coaches, see who's going to be your best friend, and dive in. The year that Rebecca and I joined the team together was the first year that we did a business plan. Part of that business plan was doing video too, and this is not to say that we're the pioneers of it, but no one was doing video then. And we actually set a plan of how we were going to do videos for 9 months, and it wasn't doing 2 videos a day or 1 video a day because that
wasn't the thing.
But it took 7 months to get the traction on it, but it was the consistency of it. People started seeing it, thinking they were doing so much business. As we were doing business, we just weren't doing as much as we wanted to. But the business plan that we set out is we pretty much had numbers of where we were getting all of our business. And that year we said we wanted to close 49 units. And to the end of that calendar year, we closed 47. Those other 2 closed the first week in January. That's how sickening that plan came together.
You were focused, and you manifested it. You made it happen. You willed it in, but it started with the plan.
Yeah, it started with the plan, and I can't tell people often enough, you need to have a plan. And most of the time they ignore me.
Well, if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail, pretty much. You're setting yourself up for a failure.
Mm-hmm. But I think that with enough times, like you, it took you 6 years to write a business plan, to sit down and write a business plan.
Yeah.
And then the 6th year you did it and it worked. Right?
Amazing. That's right.
Everybody just writes the business plan on year 1 or maybe year 2, but it's the plan. You have to have something to focus on. If you don't know where you're going, you're never going to get there.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, when you talk to them, they'll say, "Well, yeah, I have a plan. I know what I want to do. I know what I'm supposed to do. I've got it all up here. It's not the same as writing it down, putting it on paper, looking at, reviewing your plan.
Right. It's not, and it's not just a goal. It's not just, oh, I'm going to do this. It's like, well, you have to map out really how you're going to get there. And it is hard and it's challenging, but it's that commitment to the plan. If you commit to the plan will work and follow through. So I think people just have to see that, and when they see it come out in enough times, then they catch on.
Cool. So what's next for you guys? I mean, you're doing a lot of transactions. You're serving a lot of families. You're building a team. But what do you guys see yourself? Where do you guys see yourselves in the next 3 to 5 years with respect to the team, with respect to the family, the lacrosse? Where do you guys see yourselves?
I think that we're going to hit our stride soon, where we really start to see the results of all the hard work that we've done over the last 2 years, and kind of get to that next level where we've got a team that really is where everyone on our team is thriving at that point. What do you think?
No, I think that's exactly where we're headed. I think that we just need to make some changes. It's an evolving thing. Like every single day you're trying to better yourself, and that's the one thing that I think that stops us from going here, where we'll get there. We just got to work on it a little bit, step by step. And, being here this weekend at the conference and stuff, you could take in so much, but you got to implement it.
Right. What are you going to do? Otherwise, it does just stay up here. And we're like, oh, yeah. Then we'll be at the next conference. That.
I'll be there.
So, yeah, you got to.
It's all about execution.
Yeah. Yeah, and not overwhelming. I mean, we want to sometimes do as much as we can. We want to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
We want to, I'm going to do that. Oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And the reality is that we can't. We're one person in one body with 168 hours a week. And, pick your top, the one thing that's going to have the most impact, and then get that on track, or delegate some things. I think we oftentimes don't do that as much as we could, and that helps too.
Right. Like you said, you have those 168 hours in a week, and you have to be the CEO of those 168 hours. It doesn't matter if you're a first-year agent or a 20-year agent. You have to manage all of those hours, and you have to put those really important activities right where they belong, and you have to delegate those other activities that you don't have time for. And you have to make time for your personal life and your family life and your health. And if you approach your real estate career like you are the CEO of your real estate career, then you're going to be a much happier person all around, and you're going to have that nice balance, which is really why you went into real estate, right? We want financial freedom. We want to make good money. We want to spend time with our family. We want to be successful, but we want to enjoy our success, and you're not going to enjoy it if you don't act like the CEO.
Mm-hmm. And create those disciplines. So we've heard, it sounds like a lot of hard work involved. Would you have it any other way though?
No.
I mean, if you could rewind the clock 6 years or 12 years, you could have just, stayed as a teacher. You could have stayed as a bartender. Would you trade all of this hard work you put in? And you've had success, but you still have goals and plans and other, new thresholds that you want to reach. Was it worth it? Is it worth it? Because some people will say 100%. Okay.
We would not have the life that we have today if either one of us stayed in those directions.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I wouldn't feel fulfilled. I also don't know what else I would actually do. I feel like I'm still growing up, and I don't know what I want to do when I get full. I grow up.
Right.
And I went through so many years of doing it. I didn't just bartend. That was the thing that stuck out the most. I did a shit ton of stuff. I just never could figure out what I wanted to do. And it was that simple phone call that kind of like sparked something, and I just jumped in head first. And let me figure this out. I'm gonna swim through this. I'm gonna get it done. But yeah, I can't imagine doing anything else, because I think real estate is a starting point to so many other things that you can do. You don't have to just or sell and sell real estate to other people. You can go buy it yourself. We'll do long-term wealth, generational wealth. There's so many avenues. You could become an investor. There's real estate could be the starting point of another business that you might start. You know, there's so many avenues that could get you so many other places.
Yeah, and the people you meet, you know,
Yeah.
the people you meet,
Yeah.
it's
So, you know, we're recently engaged
congratulations.
a couple months ago, her birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, I would have never met her if she never came to my office 6 years ago. It started off as a business relationship and evolved to something else. So
Good stuff.
we have a lot of interesting things that could be making it harder, but I think we balance it out. We're completely two different people. And, you know, people talk about work-life balance. I don't know if there's really is ever a balance, to be honest with you.
Is life.
Yeah.
Like if you love your work is part of your life. And it's not two separate things. It's this thing and it commingles. It's like a love knot, right? There's no beginning and there's no end, because when you enjoy your work, you don't look at it as an intrusion on the rest of your life. You look at, how do I fit in this appointment? How do I fit in this activity? How do I fit in time with my spouse? How do I fit in my kids' game? You know, it's part of that circle, right? It all goes in that. And it's not a balance. It is just living. That's it. Right?
Yeah, no, I agree. Let me see. Let's see. I got a quote of the day. Let's see. We'll see. Yeah, no, I love that. I'm thinking like a pretzel of work and family. Yeah.
I actually thought about the new dog toy that we just got for
Oh, yeah.
it was this
that's
piece of rope that was all
Yeah.
up. That's a first.
That's not a love that.
No.
I'll put this different. It should have not in our bathroom.
You're right.
No.
Right. See? Right. All right. Real estate. Yeah. I say you learned something, right? You learned something. All right. Quote of the day. Real estate is like Jack and the Beanstalk's goose that lays golden eggs. It's something that pays you month after month, whether you are working or not. And that's Kathy Fetke, co-founder and co-CEO of Real Wealth.
Yeah. I think she means like that passive income that you can create through owning real estate, that long-term wealth. And, you know, just that it comes from owning real estate, whether you're an investor or whether it's the home that you're living in, because it is an investment that keeps giving back to you over and over again.
Yeah, and when you sell it, it is that goose. You're selling the goose, the dividend stock. So you got to quickly sell it and then put it into something else. So that's awesome. So if we want to reach you, let's say we want to join your growing team. We want to, maybe we have a house to sell in, Long Island, Brooklyn, Queens, or anywhere. I mean, you guys you have contacts all over the country. Right. Yeah. If someone wanted to reach you guys, what's the best way?
Instagram.
Yeah.
At Aaron Bates Real Estate.
Yeah, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram,
YouTube. It's all Aaron Bates Real Estate.
Awesome. That's the best way. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. All right. Well, this was awesome. I appreciate it, guys. Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
It was great. Enjoyed it.
All right.
Here we go.